And that's some of the things that we wanted to talk about today too. In the podcast, we started talking about the seasons and the cycles and the alignment with them and using Reiki with them in our distance Reiki share yesterday. And I had written an article called Reiki Life Cycles in the Four Directions years ago. And I just went back and read a little bit of it. I didn't get to finish it this morning. And, it was still like the information was still really relevant. And Robin and Danny and I talked yesterday after the distance Reiki share and felt like it was just such a good reminder to take some time to notice where you are and to align with where you are. And, what we try to do is talk about the tools that you have to do that, because there's always the how-to. And, we really talk about how to use Reiki energy, that life force energy, to balance your life force energy that then aligns into your own cycles and also these cycles, in the seasons. And one of the things that back when I wrote that article, I was very aware of spending a lot of time drumming with the heartbeat of the earth. And I would spend a lot of time drumming under the moon and really like getting into that rhythm of the heartbeat and lifting my feet from the earth in a way that, would be pulling the energy of the earth up. And so I was very involved with the awareness of the rhythm and the cycle of the earth and that heartbeat of the earth. And I was also very aware that a lot of people were saying that we are out of rhythm with the earth because of being able to live with lights and electricity and things like that. And I received a really powerful message around that from the earth. And the earth said to me that we really are always in the rhythm of the earth and the cycles of the earth. We can have a belief that we're not, so it can give us the experience of being out of alignment with it. But in truth, the earth said, your body is made of the earth. It's aligned with the earth. Connect with the rhythm. Be in the rhythm you're already in. And so it showed how the Reiki energy could actually heal that experience of being out of the rhythm, and that it would do it. So for instance, I lived in a place, we, had a 30-acre farm at the time in very rural Oregon, and I could be out drumming and, pounding my drum under the moon and it was, it was fine in the environment, but sometimes you can't be in those environments to do those kinds of activities. And so Reiki actually just showed how the energy aligns us naturally because it's aligned naturally. Life force is aligned. The life force of the earth is aligned. And so we just open our perceptions to being in that alignment. And so it showed me that I could do that in all different ways. Like I could actively activate Reiki by placing it all in my hands, really placing my hands on my heart and listening deeply within to my heartbeat, going deeper and deeper within. And it also showed that I could be really, out mucking stalls with the horses and feel the rhythm doing that. Or I could be picking up kids from school and I would be in the rhythm. And that the rhythm could feel different out on the farm. And then when I went into the city, shifting into the rhythm of the city and shifting into the rhythm of the people and even the sounds of the city. And it showed the earth was like, your cities are made of the earth too, be in the rhythm. And for those of you that live in cities, you know what that is. It's a rhythm that belongs to the place where you live and that land and the people and the interaction. And how Reiki can shift your perceptions to be in greater alignment and greater communion with that concept. Because life force energy, there's a rhythm to life force energy. There's a rhythm to creation. Stars, the moon, the sun, our solar system, our planets. There's a rhythm, there's sacred geometry, there's mathematics, there's calculations, there's, the universal sciences, and it can all connect in. Your body can be in comfort with that. And I think that was another area that, how I was talking earlier, maybe we weren't live yet when I was talking about feeling peace. I think the difference is that I expected that when I was in alignment with the rhythm, I would have a particular experience about that. Like it would be a particular way of being. And then what I found is I was still going to be being me and doing the doings in my life because I had a particular way of living when this was all coming into my awareness and really grasping a greater understanding of the cycles and rhythms of the earth and the four directions. And my focus and attention on it at the time, that it really just became like a noticing and part of an enjoyment in the moment of noticing. And so that noticing can happen doing whatever you're doing. So I got to where I'd start to notice, oh, here's this rhythm. I'm feeling aligned in the rhythm. And I could notice it. I was watching TV, falling asleep, out hiking in the city, grocery shopping, doing kids, giving Reiki, all the different things, that it just became a comfortable way of knowing that connection of being in the rhythms. And so it's a fun thing to notice. It's a fun thing to take a moment. And like right now, this came up because we're heading into the new moon, or we just had the new moon. And we are heading into the equinox and the changings of the seasons. And sometimes just taking even a few minutes to catch your breath and feel that alignment. And I find that for me, if I activate Reiki, and I can do that again quickly in my thoughts or by drawing the symbols or being active with it, that it helps me like perceive it. Because I want to perceive it. That's the first step, is I like being in that feeling or experience. And I would also say that this is still true even if you're in a really challenging cycle, because the challenging cycles are real. And when you're in it, it's personal, it's real, it's everything. And so all of these things that we're talking about can be so helpful to know that, first of all, this is a cycle. And there's a beginning, a middle, and end to every cycle. The cycles do change. Sometimes they last a long time. Sometimes they're short. Sometimes they're a day. You can have cycles within the cycles. And when it's challenging, I'll tell you, I just keep showing up even when it's challenging to show up. And what I mean by that, I remember actually even during this time, and I know I've mentioned this before, but I remember I was in a pretty heightened state of resistance during a lot of this timing. And I remember one day thinking, well, I should just stop and do some Reiki. And I was like, I don't want to. I was like, it feels stupid right now. Just being honest and being real here. And so I was like, okay. And so I said the name of the power symbol. Like, I'll do that much. And then about half an hour later, like, all right. And I said the name of the mental emotional symbol. And I just noticed, it just started. It wasn't instantaneous melting away, that's for sure. But it led me just that one bit of saying yes instead of saying no, and the resistance that to me was showing up. And it didn't mean that the resistance fixed right away. The resistance actually at the time also had some information to teach me. Speaking of which, that was now thinking about it, that was another article I wrote about at that time, is how Reiki heals spiritual resistance. And what I noticed about it was that the resistance actually gave me time to stop and decide how much further I wanted to go. Because sometimes once you go into some of these understandings, inner knowings, your inner truth gets revealed, it doesn't get hidden again. You may have difficulty, seeing it at times, but it's still there and it's there. And so what I found is sometimes the resistance gave me the opportunity to decide, well, do I want to continue to show up in this way? Like, is this the way I want to do it? Is this the energy I want to work with? Are these the practices I want to do? Does it really work? All of those different experiences